Shoot, did you see the I haven't watched it yet, but Oprah has um she has this conversation with a bunch of women. I think Drew Barrymore is in it, and they're talking about and a couple of doctors, they're talking about menopause.
Really? No, I didn't see this. Oh my God.
I saw the commercial for it a couple of times, and eventually I just have so much to do. I haven't taken a moment to sit down because you have to have a subscription to her channel.
That's why. Yeah, I don't have
to watch it. But it looks so interesting because and I think, you know, not just menopause, but this idea of us as women maturing and getting older, and particularly our generation, right? We are young Gen Xers. We're not on the older side of Gen X. We're on the younger side of Gen X, which I think is a very different experience.
Yeah.
I think it's a very different experience because we are like stuck in this sandwich space where half of our life was without this technology burst, and then the other half of our lives had this whole technology. So I think we're just uniquely situated dead center as a generation, and particularly, like I said, a young Gen Xer.
Yeah.
So I think the conversations that are starting to happen for our generation, you know, hip hop is turning 50. I think there's just so much about our generation that like the conversations don't feel like other people's conversations.
Yeah, it feels really close to home. And when hip hop is turning 50, that means we're turning 50. Like to me, like 47 is like I'm turning 50 soon.
I try to hold on to that good 47 though, because I'm like, when you start to say 50, it has a whole different feel to it.
Because I always thought that 50 was old until now. I'm like, oh my God, like.
But and that's the funny thing is I don't, because I think we looked at 50 through the lens of our parents' 50, and now that we're like, oh man, this isn't old. This is actually.
No, it's not that old. And probably to our kids, like friends and stuff, we probably are like younger than other parents.
Yes.
You know, it's like, oh, your mom looks so young. Like, oh, your mom looks like your sister or something, you know? Like, I didn't know that was your mom, you know?
Oh yeah. Like I think with our generation, at least I know for me with my kids, I do listen to some of the same music that my kids listen to.
Yeah.
My mother and father, they did not into my music.
Yeah. No.
But like my kids are listening to stuff and I'm listening to it as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, like the whole menopause conversation, the whole daughter graduating from high school.
Yeah.
All of it just doesn't feel, it feels normal, but it's different because I don't feel, I don't know. I feel really young.
Yeah. And you look really young.
Well, listen, someone told me last week or my birthday or whatever, around my birthday, they were like, I would thought you were about 36. I was like, come on through 36. What? I was like, I wish I still had 36-year-old boobs, but
yeah, like everyone thinks that we're younger than we are, you know, like, no,
let's not share all of that. How have you been?
I'm okay. Like
it's been a few weeks for us. It's over a month. I think we haven't had one of our inspirational conversations.
I think so. I mean, like even with Tam said it was like at least 6 weeks. And then if you add these 2 weeks, it might be like close to 2 months, maybe. It might be. It was funny. So I was setting up today. So like I haven't done a podcast in a while, you know, I just can't get myself to the garage.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe if I bring it back to my bedroom, maybe I'll feel more inclined to like, you know, do the podcast. So I tried to set up my my desk and I was like, no, I don't like it. And then I tried to set up a corner and I was like, no, I don't like it. I'm like, forget it. I'm going back to the garage.
Listen, and you know what? I think something just to kind of the season that you were in when you were ripping through the podcast,
Yeah.
I think that was the season for that period of time is what you needed to generate energy for yourself.
Yeah.
To offshoot in the other areas of your life that have kind of exploded,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think now you know what the extreme feels like.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like pull yourself in and calibrate and be like, okay, what is that happy medium
Mm-hmm.
that's right in the middle that feels good to me, where I'm still producing and creating,
Yeah.
but not like at that
Not,
level
yeah, not
or
at like warp speed. Yeah, like I feel like I've always been either warp speed or zero.
mm,
It's like all or nothing or zero. So I always go from that to zero,
mm-hmm.
So I was like, what? I need to find like some sort of balance. And I don't.
But I think you did. I think you did in the going from the extreme to the
Mhm.
not doing anything for weeks and months.
Yeah.
That you now you because you know what both ends feel like,
Yeah.
you can find the balance.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what balance is until we fall off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to fall and be like, oh, that's what it felt like to fall. I was leaning too far this way. I was leaning too far that way.
Yeah.
Now I know I'm not going to lean too much one side or the other.
Yeah.
There's gravity. You found
Yeah.
it. There's
Yeah.
balance in
Yeah.
it.
It's like not taking all of you out, like
Mm.
I need to not take all of me out instead of like, okay, let's find that balance where, okay, I'm going to do a little bit here, a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the book.
Yeah. I'm going to figure out how to publish it now. I got to send it out to people. I'm going to send you the website too, to like take a look at it really quick. And then I'm going to send it to people and then just get everyone's feedback and edits. And then I think, I'll go to that website that you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I was randomly thinking about it too, where I had the second book in my head too,
Yeah.
So I'm like in between either doing the second book. I still have to do taxes, so I can't do anything until I've done my taxes again.
Join the club.
We're back on the taxes.
You are not alone.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're not alone. So I have to get my taxes. When I do that, then I'll be able to move forward with the rest of my plan of attack.
Mm-hmm.
But
what was, go ahead.
But I did sign up for leadership.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm scared, but I signed up.
It's nothing to be afraid of. It's actually it'll bring you clarity and really help you to put into action the things that you really want.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Because I was talking to my girlfriend and she was talking to me throughout the whole thing with the momentum. And she was with me in day one, like day one, where how I felt like, all right, I'm out, right? And she was all for it. She's like, yeah, Linda, I feel you. Like I had the same experience. I totally agree with you. If you want to go, like, stop. But then I talked to her some more. And then after I went through the whole process, and then the next day, I think I talked to her about leadership. She's like, yeah, you got to do leadership. You just got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was funny that she was just like, no, I think you need to. She's like, I don't want you to get back into like depression and easily just fall back into it. She's like, yeah, you probably need that.
Yeah. And I think the beauty of having experiences that challenge us is that we learn more about ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. We bring to a greater awareness parts of ourselves that we have kind of allowed to dictate life. Mm-hmm. It was because I did a post, I think it was this morning on IG. It was, it was about shrinking. Mm-hmm. And how many times do we allow ourselves to shrink to make other people feel comfortable, right? Because we're afraid of conflict, or we're afraid of what someone's going to say.
Yeah.
And I think without the experiences of life that challenge us, we don't ever come to those epiphanies. We don't ever come to those places of awareness, because we're comfortable in the bubble.
Yeah.
Bubble feels safe.
Mm-hmm.
The bubble feels like I can make it in this bubble.
Yeah.
But then the challenging experiences come along and it's like, yeah, nope, come out the bubble.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
I think for you, the journey of staying connected in community, staying in action,
Mm-hmm.
having a tribe, having a support system, even like the big leap, like leapers. I think all of that is a way to keep you
connected.
Yeah. And in motion.
Yeah.
And in motion. The challenges are going to come. They're going to be there.
Yeah.
They are going to be there.
And the beauty of all of these, the big leap and the momentum, is the like-minded people. The like-minded people, it's the connection and the support. Like we're all like, whatever we have going on between this group of people, it's all like, well, how can I help you reach your goal? It's always, how can I help you? How can I help you reach your goal? You want to do that? That's awesome. Let me support you. And that's a huge difference of normal everyday work or normal everyday friends. You have your friends, you just do, gatherings and dinners and just chat, but it's not like with a commonality goal of, what are you trying to succeed? What is your goal? Let me help you get there.
Yeah. And what would I always think, what would the world be like if we did engage with people from that place?
Yeah.
If we did engage with people from, how can I serve? Right. With trusting that if I'm supporting or serving someone else, I'm also going to be supported and taken care of. Right. That I don't have to hoard all of my resources for myself. Yeah. And it's funny because that's what our society is going through, right? Mm-hmm. It's in our politics, it's in our social justice issues, this mentality that, oh, well, I can't do anything for you. Because if I do something for you, then that means it's going to take away from me or what I have.
Yeah, like a scarcity mindset.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That there's not enough.
Yeah.
Right. And so I believe that community is the place where we're supposed to be, to like grow and be challenged, but not stay stagnant.
Yeah.
And to be of service to other people.
Yeah.
And to be of service to other people.
Yeah. So you can't keep it all to yourself.
No. I use this example. You probably heard me use this in the big leap, right? You don't wake up tomorrow wondering, oh my God, is there enough air for me to breathe?
No.
You just breathe.
You just breathe and take up some space.
And you take my favorite word. That is the word for the week. That is the phrase for the week. Take up space. Take up space.
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't afraid, if you weren't worried, if you weren't concerned about what other people would think, what type of space would you take up?
Yeah.
What type of space would you take up?
Yeah, it's that fear of people worrying about what others think of us, and or failing, or fear of like possibly, not looking right or not looking good, and it's just interesting how people just get in that scarcity mode.
Mm-hmm. We all do.
Yeah.
And we experience, thoughts of scarcity in different areas of our lives, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. For some people it's romance. For some people it's in their finances. For some people it's in their career.
Yeah.
For some people it's in their health, right? Well-being, right? But either way, we all have moments where we're like, do I have enough? Am I enough?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's man, listen, it is the journey of life.
It is.
We all get to have. And that's why we do these conversations, right? So that people who are just sitting around having a regular day, regular life, just like us, can see themselves.
Yes. That's the that's the essence of all of this.
Yeah. And possibly get a little inspiration themselves, right?
exactly.
To get up and go do that thing, or to take up space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I also took away from a lot of the conversations I had is somebody wants to do something. They're like, oh, I don't know how to do it because it sounds, too big or such a daunting task of whatever projects they want to do. They want to do a show or they want to do this. And the beauty of it is I just love sharing like my own life experiences of my crazy, like, bulldozing of like, projects I do. I'm like, well, hey, I did this in a month or 3 months, and I did this in like 1 week. Not to say like whatever amount of time you need, but this is how I was able to do it. And I didn't get stuck in the perfectionism of it. I have a passion that I have to do, and it has to get out. Like once I have a beautiful idea of something, it just has to get out. And I don't get stuck on the perfectionism of it, and it's the beauty of the process. And then you don't have to figure all of it out. You do one project and then you get more ideas, and then other people have, input and then help you move on to the next idea. Just do it.
And I think a lot of people don't take up space because they want it to look perfect.
Yeah.
So people don't show up as their full, authentic selves sometimes because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid they're not going to look perfect. They're afraid they're going to say the wrong thing. So they shrink themselves.
Yeah.
They shrink themselves for fear that if someone sees them at their full, expansive self,
yeah,
they won't be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I made a decision this year. I made it to myself, and every day I've been working at it.
Yeah.
That I was not going to shrink for anyone, that I was going to live my life full out, playing big, playing to win, and whatever thoughts or were in my mind or in my head, I was going to pursue it, try it, throw it up on the wall, see if it sticks.
That's amazing.
And yeah, but I think the natural human inclination is people are scared to take up space because they want to be perfect.
Yeah.
And they want to be perfect because they don't want to be judged, not realizing that even perfect people are judged.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about Michelle Obama, Oprah, all of them, they were all judged.
Yeah. And those were people that we perceived as perfect.
Yeah.
And someone else perceived them as imperfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, did you see the Oprah and Michelle Obama?
I did not, but I'm going to watch it. Someone told, I told you, I've been in mommy freaking prom type on graduation.
Mommy prom mode.
But someone did just text me about it last week, and they were like, "Oh, one." They said, "Oh my God, you should watch it." And the second thing they said it was like listening. They said it was like listening to me talk. It
was beautiful. It was beautiful because I saw the first one, and then this is the last one where she's closing out her tour. Mm-hmm. And it was beautiful. That even the conversation with Oprah and Viola Davis too, like that was beautiful.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That's beautiful. But the Michelle Obama one, I love it because you think it's beautiful to hear someone of high stature talk like me and you. That's how the conversation was going between Oprah and Michelle Obama.
Wow.
Where it was just so beautiful, and the authenticity of it. Like she wasn't hiding, trying to be perfect, because normally if someone of that stature has to be prim and proper. And let me tell you, everything's beautiful. We don't have fights. We have no issues with our kids. No, she breaks that down. Like, no, I was mad at him in that photo. I was mad at him. I wasn't happy for 10 years of our marriage. Like she keeps it real. And that's beautiful to hear, just to have that conversation of realness that we don't have to be perfect.
Was at one point one of the most powerful women. She's still probably one of the most powerful women in the world. But when she was first lady, she was definitely at the top most powerful woman in the world.
Yeah. And there was just such a horrible campaign to like people saying negative things about her. It was just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a beautiful
I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it.
I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it.
I'm putting that on my list. I'm definitely putting that on my list. But I hope our listeners get that there's nothing in this world that's perfect. Nothing.
No.
There's absolutely nothing. Everything has flaws, even if we can't see it to the naked eye.
Yeah. It's the beautiful mess. It's the, controlled chaos of it all. Just enjoy it, do it, and through the whole journey of it, just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. So what do you feel like your new normal or balance is going to be for your podcast?
I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't put myself into a box of a schedule, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but one thing I do want to do is collaborate with more people who have podcasts.
Mm.
That's one tip that another momentum person got me connected to another person. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna connect you with a couple other podcasters, and then that'll help you with their audience, and then help you with your audience, and help you grow that way.
I like that.
But I feel that that's one thing, but I feel like I just need to continue with my original plan of just keep bringing more people on and keep bringing the stories on. I was talking to some people and I was like, yeah, I was wondering if I should change up the format or should I do something else. And they were like, no, we love your idea. No, just keep your idea, just keep going. They're like, they just love the idea of every story will help, every story will heal. It's all about the people and their stories and the tips and tricks. So they're like, no, just keep doing that.
I like it.
Yeah. So
Like it. I think it's beautiful. I think what we do is beautiful.
yeah.
Um, I think that the conversations are inspirational in a way that allows people to, kind of figure out where they are in life.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I recognize what Linda says. I recognize what Sunne-Ryse said, or I feel like I'm entering into a phase like what they're entering into. Or that was really good information because I feel like, I needed that little nugget to help me through this situation that I'm going through.
Yeah.
And
So
that whole take up space, that hit me like a ton of bricks because sometimes it comes out of nowhere. I thought I was, I was like, I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And then the situation happened and I was like, oh, Sunne-Ryse, why are you shrinking for that person?
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It caught me.
Yeah. I think that's another thing what I'm doing now, where I'm just taking up more space and learning how to articulate how to take up more space instead of just shrinking and being quiet and being okay with
Yeah.
it. So I need to find a balance of articulating those things better and
Yeah.
more clear, but I'm getting there. So, the tip of
But
this.
you heard what you just said. Did you realize what you just said?
No, what?
You were basically having the perfection conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust myself. And the more I say it, the better I will get at articulating in a way that feels right.
Yeah.
But if I wait until I'm more articulate, I'm never going to get more articulate because you're only going to get more articulate when you are actually. Yes.
Yeah. Because I noticed like one of my issues is I have no problems being fully articulate with people I know. But I won't say it to people that I don't know as much. Like I'll filter myself a little bit. I'll make myself small actually. Yeah. So I will make myself smaller to people I don't know, but for people I do know, I have no problem saying all of it.
Wow.
That's what I mean by articulating things.
Yeah.
Like in the moment, I think I stop myself with people I don't know.
Of course.
So if I can flow, so with people I don't know, if I can flow more easily in my own skin and not stop myself, so that'll be interesting. That'll be my next evolution of just flowing.
Yeah. I think, I think between your book and these conversations that you're having, I think it's all
flowing, getting better, going.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've changed a lot since I started this podcast. So
you have.
I've changed a lot.
Yeah. Do you look at yourself and see the progression?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's beautiful because, like, when I talk about it with people, I was like, you don't understand the type of person I was before. I was like, this is not who I was a year ago.
Yeah.
So I think it's so beautiful. And that's why, like, I get so excited about the podcast too. And I always want to gift it to other people. I'm like, you got to see yourself on a podcast because it's helped me tremendously. And if you can just have these mirror conversations with people where I can just shine the light on other people, then you would get out of your shell just like I got out of my shell. So I'm constantly to give people conversations. I'm like, you got to get on. Let's go. Let's have a conversation.
You know what? And I love the fact that for you, it's an opportunity for you not only to see yourself, but for you to help others see themselves.
Yeah, because I love it because it helped me. So I constantly, every time I talk to someone, I see it and I'm like, you got to join me on a weekly conversation.
And maybe, just a thought, maybe that is the evolution. Maybe that is the evolution, right? That for the next season, it's collaborations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's weekly collaborations.
Yeah, because there's a whole bunch of people that I had talked to where I'm like, all of you guys need to just join me on a weekly one. 9 or 10 weekly ones, 9 or 10 weekly ones, and I think they will just jump off and hit their mark. Because me and Tam haven't done our
but even having a theme, right? So who is this person?
Yeah.
And what is the conversation or the experience that they have to bring to the world?
Yeah.
Right. Who are the people that need to hear their voice? And then aligning that with Art and Hustle. Now you create this kind of like series.
Yeah. And then I think it would be beautiful. And then when I spoke to those people also, and I already had this idea before where after this evolution of this, the evolution will take off also where there'll be ambassadors of Art and Hustle. And, those people will talk to their friends and then I'll edit it and put it into this forum of the series also. So it's like friends of Art and Hustle. So then it just starts growing because they'll be ambassadors of me and continue those conversations of someone that they found, has a story that they want to tell.
Wow.
So that would be like the next tier of it too. Right?
Yeah, I like it.
I
like it. I like it.
I love it.
Yeah. We have it looks like we have 3 minutes left.
Does it say, 3 minutes. All right. 3 minutes of nuggets. Any other nuggets? How are you doing with the lives? Are you feeling like energized from your lives that you've been doing?
I'm so glad I'm back because remember I was sick. So I'm excited to be back on my lives Saturday morning, 9:30 or 9 o'clock, depending on what my schedule is.
Yeah.
But I'm really that I was missing that. I really missed that. So I'm grateful to be back with that. I too need to get back on my podcast grind. I have a couple that have to be edited and uploaded.
Yeah, me too.
But I feel like there was a season where so much was happening. I needed to slow down so that I could pace myself on some things. And now I get to kind of ramp it back up.
Yeah, because you probably took a month off also, or
it was about that from when I was sick. Yeah. I was sick, and then I start traveling again for work. I'll be like in Kansas, South Carolina, and I'll be all over the place. But
oh my God! Did you go to your Kansas thing?
This is June.
It's June? Oh my God!
It's June. I can't wait. I'm really excited.
I know, that's awesome.
I'm gonna definitely take some videos so I can share and post. But Kansas is June.
Kansas is June. I love it. Well, I'm excited. You're back. You're healthy. You're good. And you gotta. I mean, honestly, these podcasts are a legacy for everybody at this point. And legacy to keep going. You live on forever through all of these. So
I agree.
I think it's beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me again. See you next week.
Bye.